three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin.
Year 2 tipped off, and the WNBA wasted no time throwing down fireworks. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, the rivalry everybody wants, and this clash delivered on every ounce of hype. Records fell, a triple-double shook the box score, and the so-called gap between these two? At this point, it's not a gap, it's a canyon. Caitlin didn't just pull up to hoop, she came to prove she runs this matchup. From the opening whistle, Clark was fearless. She embraced the contact, got the foul call, and knocked down her free throws like ice in her veins. Angel tried to answer back on the other end, but her usual trash talk routine shut down quick. Reese pulled up for a three. Weak release, soft miss. Clark fired one right back, but that one clanked short too. Angel switched gears, drove hard to the rim, but got sent packing with a block. Then Clark grabbed the rebound, sprinted in transition, only for her layup to spin out. So what did she do?
Here's Clark firing and hitting.
Adjust. She started threading needles with those slick dimes, but you could tell her Fever teammates weren't fully locked in for those rocket passes yet. Clark's defense was locked in. Every time Angel tried to bully her way inside, she got walled off. But if Indiana wanted to break this wide open, somebody had to start finishing the gems Caitlin was dishing out. And finally, Lexi Hall caught the vibe and cashed in. Reese tried to answer back, suddenly finding rhythm from deep, dropping threes like she had a point to prove. That only lit a fire under Caitlin. She cranked it up to another gear and let everyone know the floor still belonged to her. But then came the cheap shot. Reese straight up shoved Aaliyah Boston in the face, a desperate move to kill the Fever's chemistry. The crowd gasped, but Clark never flinched. She kept the offense humming, and her connection with Boston looked untouchable, like they were running their own private two-player clinic.
Wants more of that from her, catching around that 15-foot area.
Clark connects! The first logo bomb of the season from Caitlin Clark.
At one point, Caitlin looked like she was levitating out there, pulling up for bold shots that had fans holding their breath. Sure, a couple fast break plays were a little ambitious for her vets, but nobody cared once she finally gave the crowd what they came for, pure electricity. By halftime, Indiana had blown the lead up to 13, and the Fever weren't slowing down. They smelled blood, and they were ready to feast. Caitlin Clark started flexing her full playmaking bag. The no-look passes, the sneaky feeds, everything. Even when she missed a layup, Aaliyah Boston was right there to clean it up, locked in like a superstar on a mission. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was still struggling just to get the ball to drop. Indiana seized full control. Clark dictating the tempo, stretching the lead, and making it crystal clear who was running the show. But then the third quarter flipped the script. Chicago bricked a three, and Reese got reckless, shoving Nyssa Howard in the back on the rebound. No whistle. Fans were furious.
So much pace. It's where Caitlin Clark excelled a season ago.
Angel Reese dives in and finishes through the count.
Clark tried to stop the fast break with a simple take foul, but Reese took it personal, puffed her chest, and turned it into something way bigger. After review, the refs actually hit Clark with a flagrant for shoving Angel after the foul, the most controversial call of the night. Both players tried to downplay it after the game, calling it a common foul. But come on, that pot had been boiling for a while, and this was the spark that blew it up. Clark came storming out of the gate after that, already sitting on 14 points, 7 boards, and 7 dimes. You could feel it in the arena. Something legendary was cooking. And with her teammates flying in transition, everything started falling into place. Clark smelled blood and went straight at Reese every chance she got. Whether it was pulling up from deep or slicing through traffic, she made it clear. Angel couldn't guard her. And when the double teams came, that just gave Caitlin a chance to show off her vision, zipping cross-court lasers to open shooters. Reese tried to respond with her usual antics, barking at the refs after every miss.
It's a blast, but Howard comes away with it. Here is Clark. Clark feeding Boston, who can't finish. Lexi Hall comes in, grabs the rebound, and she said, well, I know you guys love it. Oh, what a pass from Clark. But
waving her arms like the calls were owed to her. The crowd wasn't buying it. The boos rained down while Clark kept cashing buckets. Then came the dagger sequence. Clark nailed a 3 right in Reese's face, turned around and clapped her hands, and on the very next possession, stole the ball clean and hit Boston in stride for an easy bucket. The building erupted. It felt like the roof was about to come off. Indiana's lead ballooned past 20, and Reese looked frustrated, gassed, and out of answers. Clark, on the other hand, was glowing, feeding off the chaos, stacking the stat sheet, and showing everyone in real time why she's already rewriting the WNBA script. By the fourth quarter, it wasn't just a game anymore. It was a showcase. Clark was 1 rebound and a couple assists away from a triple-double, and you could feel the entire arena buzzing every time she touched the ball. Every pass, every shot, every defensive stop had fans on the edge of their seats.
Passing and the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range is good. Boston gives it back. Clark to Boston, her jumper is good.
Reese, meanwhile, was spiraling. The frustration boiled over, hands on her hips, barking at teammates, glaring at refs, throwing her arms after every whistle. And then came the boiling point. After a missed layup, she smacked the stanchion in pure anger, while Clark calmly jogged back, smirking like she knew the night already belonged to her. Then Clark gave the people the highlight they were waiting for, a filthy step-back 3 that splashed so clean the crowd exploded. Reese tried to clap back with a drive, but Boston sent it right back into her chest, and Indiana ran the break to perfection. The Fever's chemistry was on full display, and the scoreboard showed no mercy. With the margin stretching to blowout territory, all eyes were on Clark's stat line. The question wasn't if she'd get the triple-double, it was how flashy she'd make it look. Clark was hunting history, and everyone in the building knew it. She already had the points, she already had the assists. All she needed was one more board to lock in that triple-double. And the Fever crowd was ready to erupt the second it happened.
Here's Clark, 4 seconds left. Clark fires, you bet! Clark drills the 3 to end the second.
On the other end, Reese was desperate to flip the narrative, but nothing worked. She forced a layup through traffic, got swatted again, and when she hit the floor looking for a foul, the refs just waved it off. The boos and cheers mixed into pure chaos. Half the arena fired up, the other half stunned. Then came the moment. A long rebound popped out. Clark snatched it, and the place went ballistic. Triple-double secured. She cracked the slightest grin, pointed to the crowd, and went right back to work like it was just another possession. Cold-blooded? Reese tried to answer with a mid-range jumper, bricked it, and Clark instantly turned it into showtime, firing a full-court dime to Hull for the easy finish. It was insult on top of injury, and the crowd loved every second of it. At this point, it wasn't even a contest. It was Caitlin Clark rewriting the script in real time while Reese got left in the wreckage. By now, Clark wasn't just playing. She was putting on a masterclass. Every stat line number kept climbing, and the Fever were running like a machine built just for her game. The scoreboard wasn't just tilted, it was embarrassing.
Here's Clark spinning, bouncing, what a find! And Howard lays it in on a delectable dime from Caitlin Clark.
Indiana making it look easy while Clark stuffed the sheet like a video game. Reese, she looked done. The confidence, the trash talk, the swagger, all gone. She was dragging up the court, glaring at teammates, and when the cameras caught her mouthing off in frustration, the internet instantly had its meme material. The so-called rivalry wasn't even close anymore. Clark had officially turned it into domination. Then came the exclamation point. Clark hit another 3, the crowd lost their minds, and the Fever bench jumped out of their seats before the ball even splashed through the net. That was the kind of shot you take when you know nobody can touch you. And she drilled it without hesitation. Every possession felt like history piling up. The records, the highlights, the message, all of it screamed one thing. Caitlin Clark owns this matchup, and there's nothing Angel Reese can do about it.
Closes in on a triple-double, 2 assists, 1 rebound away. Clark leading Mitchell for the lay, and the building is up for grabs. Clark gets it back from Boston. Now bounces to her. Boston drops it in.
The closing minutes turned into a full-blown highlight reel for Caitlin Clark. Every touch had the crowd buzzing. Every move felt like another dagger. With Reese still pressing, trying to salvage pride, Clark turned it into a personal showcase. A steal here, a deep three there, a no-look dime that had defenders spinning in circles. Reese tried one last push, muscling inside, but Boston wasn't having it. She swatted the shot clean and Clark immediately flipped the floor. She dribbled into space, pulled up from way beyond the arc and drilled it like it was nothing. The crowd exploded. That was the kill shot. Indiana's bench went wild, waving towels, laughing, knowing the game was buried for good. Reese could only shake her head, her night collapsing, while Clark stood tall in full control. The so-called rivalry had turned into a statement game, and it wasn't Angel making it. When the buzzer sounded, the scoreboard said blowout, but the story went deeper. Clark didn't just win, she humiliated her rival on the biggest stage yet. This was her night, her league, her era, and Angel Reese was just another victim caught in the storm.
Here's Clark firing and hitting. 20 points for Caitlin Clark.
When the dust settled, the numbers told the story. Clark finished with a monster triple-double, 34 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds. That's not just filling the stat sheet, that's rewriting it. Fans were screaming like they just witnessed a piece of history, and social media instantly went nuclear. Meanwhile, Angel Reese limped out with a stat line that looked more like a footnote than a fight. Double-digit attempts, clanked shots, frustration fouls, and body language that screamed defeat. Commentators couldn't help but point it out. The rivalry was supposed to be neck and neck, but Clark made it look like varsity versus JV out there. Clips of Clark's step-back three, her no-look dime to Boston, and the moment she secured the triple-double spread like wildfire online.
And Dewana Bonner sits alone in third place on the all-time WNBA score count. There it is! A triple-double for Caitlin Clark. The third of her career. And she starts 2025.
By the time she hit the post-game podium, her name was trending worldwide, with fans calling it one of the coldest performances the WNBA has ever seen. And Reese, the only clips blowing up of her were the shove, the meltdown, and the endless complaints to the refs. One star left the building bigger than ever, and the other walked away looking exposed. So here's the question. Is this even a rivalry anymore, or did Caitlin Clark just slam the door shut on that narrative? She dropped a triple-double on Angel Reese's head, shattered records, and turned what was supposed to be a clash of equals into a one-sided showcase. The debate is everywhere right now. Did the refs let Reese get away with too much? Was Clark disrespected with that flagrant call? Or was this simply proof that no amount of antics can touch real skill when the lights are brightest? Fans are split, media's in a frenzy, and both names are blowing up the timeline for completely different reasons. Clark is being celebrated as the future of the league, cool under pressure, lethal with the ball, and already delivering legendary moments. Reese, on the other hand, is catching heat for the shove, the complaints.
Clark, harassed by Carrington, finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Carrington and is down.
And a stat line that didn't back up the talk. Now it's your turn. Do you think the WNBA has a real rivalry here, or did Clark just end the conversation for good? Drop your take in the comments below, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what happens next. Click the video on screen, and we'll see you in the next one. The ripple effect from this game didn't stop at the buzzer. It's still shaking the entire league. Analysts are already calling it the defining moment of year 2, the night Clark officially separated herself from the pack. Some are even daring to say it. This might have been the game that cemented her as the face of the WNBA. Meanwhile, whispers around Angel Reese's camp are getting louder. Can she really keep up if Clark keeps dropping these kinds of nights? Or is the rivalry just a media creation to drum up drama?
I feel like I'm getting hammered.
Fans aren't shy about giving their answers. Timelines are flooded with clips clowning Reese while praising Clark as the coldest player on the floor. But here's the twist. This isn't the last time they'll see each other this season. The rematch is already circled on calendars, and if tonight proved anything, it's that the tension is only going to skyrocket from here. Will Reese find redemption, or will Clark double down and make it worse? The league wanted a storyline. Now they've got a full-blown saga. That dime was her 10th assist, leaving Clark just 1 rebound shy of a triple-double in her Year 2 opener.
Everyone else is seeing this angle. I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
The tension in the arena was electric, every fan knowing they were on the edge of witnessing history. But before locking it in, Clark reminded everyone why she's must-see basketball, stepping out way beyond the arc and draining a deep 3 that sent the crowd into a frenzy. And it wasn't just her night making the record books. Veteran star DeWanna Bonner carved her own legacy, climbing into 3rd on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. A moment that proved the old guard and the new wave were rewriting history side by side. Then it happened. Clark rose up, snagged that final rebound, and sealed her triple-double in style. The scoreboard told the rest of the story. The fever crushed the sky, no debate, no doubt. Indiana looked every bit the powerhouse. And if this is the opening chapter of their season, the rest of the league better buckle up.
Gets hit with a technical.
Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a breakdown. Click the video on screen. We'll see you in the next one.